Hello YouTube, my name is Scott and welcome to another episode of Opinions No One Cares About, a video series described by President Barack Obama as my favorite video series on YouTube ever. It's true. Google it. This episode's topic shall be Saturday Night Live. Now, I thought it was interesting that in the wake of this virus and the pandemic and everybody having to work from home, Saturday Night Live, a show known for ensemble comedy, would decide to see if they could do their episodes with everybody at home. They did their last 3 episodes of their most recent season, with everybody quarantined within their homes, performing individual sketches, sometimes coming together a little bit, and still having a guest host, which is kind of surprising when you consider nobody could make it to Studio 8G? I honestly can't remember what studio it is. It's 8 something over there at 30 Rock. But anyway, they performed all these skits and sketches at their houses, apart from everyone else, and I got to wondering, is it possible that the show is funnier this way? I took some inspiration from a YouTuber I know named Steve Shives. Okay, I don't know him, I'm just a fan. But anyway, he did this video about how SNL isn't as funny as it used to be, and I kind of agree. I mean, with Saturday Night Live, you get some really great seasons, some really terrible seasons, 1995, and everything in between. And everybody has their opinion on when it was the best. It was the late 80s through about 94. So I was wondering, is the show funnier this way? Does it stack up to some of the best seasons? Let's find out. So, SNL from home is definitely different from Saturday Night Live. But is it a good different or a bad different? And the thing is, there are pros and cons. For example, some of the pros. For one thing, you get to see the performers doing more, I think, of what makes them uniquely them. Like, when you audition for Saturday Night Live, you do it by yourself. And then, of course, you have to work in a group in sketches. But all of them working individually, I think, really brings out their own gifts and their own talents and helps us to see more of them as performers. And anything Kate McKinnon does by herself is pretty funny. Also, I think this format actually allows us to see more of each individual cast member. When you watch SNL Live, Saturday Night Live, you know, you can see, like, the same few people in each sketch sometimes, if they're just playing minor characters, which is all well and good, but I feel like episode to episode, like week to week, there are some people that can be left to the side or pushed out entirely. I think Pete Davidson does a lot of that, actually. Like, I think there are entire episodes, maybe almost entire seasons, where he's not around. But this way, you know, everybody has to contribute. Almost like everybody gets a participation trophy. And, you know, including everyone in the cast equally, I think that is a definite pro. Now, of course, for every pro, there is a, what's the word? I just said it. So for every pro, there is a... Thanks, Captain. Yeah, for every pro, of course, there is a con. And in fact, there are actually more cons than pros in this case because I only named 2 pros. But here we go. One con, or downside to this whole thing is, there is a guest host for at least a couple of the episodes. They did 3 of them, like I said. 2 of the guest hosts were Tom Hanks and Kristen Wiig. There wasn't really one for the episode in between them, but they did have Dr. Fauci in the cold open being played by Brad Pitt, and to be fair, I think that should count. But the thing is, you know, you kind of need a guest host for SNL, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I would tune in just because I knew who was going to be hosting, and I wanted to see what kind of wacky stuff they were going to do. Whether they put The Rock in a dress, or even had a host that came up with their own recurring character. Like the Continental. This dude was weird, and Christopher Walken made him awesome well before he needed more cowbell. But if you don't have the guest host, you know, in with the sketches, it does take away from it a little bit. As well as the fact that without a live audience, there's no one to react to. Sometimes the laughter can help to make or break a good sketch, really. Especially like in the situations where the cast members break. That kind of thing where like either something goes wrong or they can't remember their lines or something, and next thing you know they can't stop laughing. Fallon was famous for it. And hey, it got him the Tonight Show, so maybe there was something to it. And from what I've heard, Lauren loves it when they break. But without that kind of audience feedback, sometimes, you can't tell if a sketch is going well. You can't tell if you're running it into the ground. And on top of that, it's a variety show. It's sketch comedy. It kind of relies on the whole ensemble being together. If social distancing had always been a thing, Saturday Night Live could not have thrived. You wouldn't have had, two wild and crazy guys. No Hans and Franz, no Wayne's World, none of these guys. Over here, see what I'm doing with my head? No, what was that? Oh yeah. Dog show! Obviously you need characters working together sometimes in order to make a good sketch work. So in the end, your opinion on whether or not SNL at Home is better than the original is kind of a matter of taste. Some parts of it are good, some parts of it are bad. Overall, if you're going to compare them against seasons, it's not bad. I mean, it's definitely better than 1995. It's definitely better than the early to mid 80s, which is too bad considering those seasons had like Billy Crystal and Martin Short. Definitely not good as like 75 through 80, or judging by your taste, like 88 to 94. But like definitely better than the mid to late 80s when they went to Hollywood and came back with Robert Downey Jr. and Anthony Michael Hall. That's a thing. Google it. Iron Man was an SNL cast member. But let's face it, all things considered, just like, every other show on TV, every other movie, all those places we can't go, I want the real SNL back. That being said, YouTube, thank you very much for listening to another semi-psychotic rant of mine. If you liked, click like. If you want to subscribe, click subscribe. If you want to comment, definitely comment. I love reading them, whatever I get. And please share it around amongst your friends. But until next time, my name is Scott, and this has been Opinions No One Cares About. Everyone has opinions. This one was mine.